point of this trip is to show people that, hey, India, we're good enough.
Indians abroad are still very proud to be Indian. Can we not change the mindset of go and compete with them?
PIOs, OCI still are not allowed, but they've allowed Pakistanis, Bangladeshis. Why?
Why can't you get someone from an Indian diaspora to come, but you say as a value exchange, open up a residential academy?
I've got Indians coming and telling me here that it's been 40 years I've been living here, and Indian teams come here and get smashed 12-0, 15-0, and now it's the opposite way. I want to cry with being so how proud I am.
I want to hear your point though regarding the devil's advocate.
Well, my thing is, I think with the PIOs and OCIs, I think the first thing that would happen is positive branding. Like so this is a short term in terms of positive branding, but it's something that Indian football desperately needs because it's a very negative narrative that it can't shake off. So to get a boost, because we already know there's an interest, but to get a boost of positive media and positive results, all we hear is Manolo Marquez is gone, Igor Stamak had a whole huge fallout with the AIFF. So I think the boost in results and the branding is a positive, but then I also agree that you can't just block any sort of pathway.
So
but
it has to
think
be.
It is needed.
So I think it has to be merit. Okay?
Yeah.
And it should not be just because someone's playing in one of the English leagues or Spanish leagues, he just gets to come in because... So he has to be he has to come and play with the Indians. So they should be like, come and play in the Super League or play with them for at least a couple of months. So you actually see, okay, fine, this guy's better. Okay, and he's so much better. Because it'll be horrible for someone to come and take away a job of an Indian in the Indian Super League because it's an Indian Super League. For example, these fuckers have really done us a disservice. They've just said Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Nepal, Sri Lankans are not considered foreigners anymore. You know that?
What do you mean? No, I don't understand.
Yeah, so any other South Asian country now counts
and
the
now,
same as an Indian,
so
they're not
already...
overseas.
Yeah, so
that's a bit ridiculous. No, that's ridiculous.
I mean, you need a fucking visa to get into my country. A Bangladeshi Pakistani can come in saying that, okay, fine, I'm going to take you Indian spot because I'm better than you. So you can actually have a Pakistani striker there playing in the Indian position, not in the Indian national team. I'm talking about all clubs. So,
sorry, I just need to clarify what you mean by that because I thought India is quite strict regarding its borders and who's allowed to come in and that stuff.
And they've just changed this rule overnight saying... And because they don't require the government's permission to do this, because all they need is that once the government gives a visa,
like a work visa, sort of thing.
but they'll be treated as Indians.
But why would you do it?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do even like a PIO and OCI strategic move? You could make a case for that, but that ruling you can't even make a case.
So by the way, PIOs, OCI still are not allowed.
Yes,
they've not been able to do that. But with them, they've allowed Pakistanis, Bangladeshis. Why? Because Kalyan Chaubey wants the SAF vote.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness!
So those votes in
It's
that
like we're trying to argue a good case, but we're assuming that
there's some logic at the top.
So you got to understand. Imagine these guys come in. So you've got suppose one good striker from Bangladesh, and he's going to come and take in the position of the only Indian striker. Suppose Irfan Yadwad was playing for Chennai, and he comes and takes the place. I used to have this keeper called Kiran Limbu, who's still probably the best keeper in South Asia. Okay, he would come and take in a place of an Indian keeper in one of the ISL clubs. That means there's less game time for an Indian keeper, guest game time for that. So what are you doing? Again, you've screwed yourself in the...
But can we not change... Well, so that South Asian thing, I think, is just a bit ridiculous. But regarding a Indian diaspora coming and playing, can we not change the mindset of go and compete with them? Show them you're as good as them, rather than you're just taking our place.
Exactly.
Why aren't we getting that mindset?
That's the opposite of what sport is anyway. Like, it's all merit-based, right?
Exactly. So I have no problem in that. That should be wonderful. They should come here, play and say, okay, fine. He's got he's got Indian blood. He's better than our guy. Put him in. Okay, but... just coming in saying just because I'm playing in England, I'm better than you, it doesn't work.
But I think there's got to be a value exchange. For example, now this is like, for example, you see Beckham with Inter Miami and Ronaldo. You know that when they come to Saudi, they're getting a lot because you're treating them like kings and vice versa. But then you've given them an incentive to help American and Saudi football by ownership. Now, what I'm saying on a smaller scale, why can't you get someone from an Indian diaspora to come, but you say as a value exchange, open up a residential academy or help grassroots.
Does that work?
Beautiful.
Does that work?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You know why? Because one of my arguments was that suppose, okay, Mr. X, let's say Danny Bath, all his life he's lived in England. He's an English citizen, and I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
he's fish and chips all the way. Okay, and tomorrow,
Sorry. Yeah.
What way to put it.
I held it together until you started laughing. You know, that's too funny.
see, yeah, I'm funny. Okay, see, he's coming here because he's going to get an opportunity to play international football.
Correct. Yeah.
Once he retires, he's not going to retire in India. He's going to retire in England because his family has been born and brought up there. They're not going to change their nationalities because he suddenly decided to play football.
Correct,
there.
yeah.
So all the money he's earned here, he's going to take back there. And what is he going to do? He's a footballer, ex-footballer then, retired. He's going to open an academy there. So all our money is going to go there and open up academy. And is it going to be training Indians? No, it might be training some white guys. So who's going to benefit out of that? So that's a brilliant idea. That means you give back to the community.
I mean, look, if go on. Sorry.
So just to complete my point is you have to have some value exchange because Indians abroad are still very proud to be Indian. We're still trying to trump our community back home because we're seen as minorities. So when you speak to British agents, a lot of them are more than happy to give back to India and help. Now I agree with your point. At the end of the day, we are British. But if you have something set up,
but as long as India ends up getting the value for the value that the player takes, then I think there's, as you said, a fair exchange.
But you know, like you guys said, you're British. That's exactly what we don't want. Somebody who's playing for our nation,
correct?
Who's wearing the, you know, he should be bleeding blue.
Agreed.
He should never be able to say, okay, end of the day, I'm British, man, so suppose we lose here today. It's a
slightly different mentality this side of it. Because, for example, look, Ranjit, I'll give you context, right? Because there's been so much like migration across Europe for a long, long time. Like, for example, like Declan Rice, he's Irish. He plays for England. Like Grealish. There's so many that like. It's a matter of playing at the top level. Of course, they've got like attachment.
You go to the French team. All of them are migrants.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, and you go starting all the way from you go to Sweden, Zlatan.
But what I'm trying to say is, if a British-born and raised lad ends up playing for India, I mean, I don't know what the checks and balances would be, but you have to make sure that they bleed blue. I completely agree with that.
So
but if they do, and if they perform, and if they're merit-based and they give a value exchange back to India,
so exactly. So what you're saying
that's the only way it can work.
That there has to be a proper structure.
And
we should not rush into these things.
Correct.
So it should not basically hurt us instead of helping us.
For sure.
So the whole point is, So the whole point is getting OCIs and PIOs here. Why? Because we've not been concentrating on the long term, and we need urgent help.
Yeah. This wouldn't have even been a conversation if
India were
exactly. So, but are we fixing the problem where what got us here in the first place? That means we are not looking at it in the long term.
Agreed.
So are we? No, we are not. We're just getting the short-term fix solution by getting the OC. I'm saying, oh my God, will it get us uptick in results? What are we going to thrash Bangladesh? Oh yeah. Are we going to thrash Pakistan? Oh yeah. Then.
That shouldn't be the height of the ambition, really.
Okay, so are we going to win the Asian Cup? Are we going to thrash Korea and Japan with those guys? If I would, I mean, you bring them today, man. You bloody, if you're going to trash Argentina with the Indian boys there, you bring them today. Okay, I would love to have them.
I agree. You have to sort out your own house before you look.
So for quick term, short pain, you want to avoid the long-term efforts. You need to make sure you plan long-term. And now,
we're on the same page.
But again, so once the system comes into place, like this system is going to come into place, and we start churning out those players, and then you have also OCIs and PIOs adding to that team.
Correct.
So you need a bigger pool of players. So what you need to give the coach is, you've got right now, let's just come to the tax, okay? How many players does India has to select from? People say, oh my God, billions. Fuck all billions. It's the number of ISL teams. That's it. Okay. Which other players on the ISL teams they can select? The ones who get game time. Yes?
Of course.
So how many Indian centre-backs get 90 minutes per match? Okay, let's say one per team. So there are 12 centre-backs you can choose from.
And even the filtration system to get into the ISL the whole time hasn't been as good as it could have as well.
It's not. It's been stuck.
What were you saying?
I was going to say that those points are genuinely just ridiculous. Like the South Asian ones. And it's just, I feel like a lot of the time it's just a mentality. Like they've come from abroad, and you just pay them a massive check, put them on a massive pedestal, and just block Indian players. Like, of course, that needs to be stopped straight.
I'll tell you.
They need to be playing league games to then get better in the national.
I'll tell you, if you want India to get better, you need to adjust the salary scale.
Yeah,
how
that's
how
just a
okay
bit
how are
silly.
you going to? So people keep on saying, oh my god, these players should not be earning this much. Oh my god. I tell them, fuck you. Why? Because it's about demand and supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You if you go outside on your road and you get gold and diamonds all over the place, the cost of gold and diamond will be nothing.
Yeah,
Because it's not mud. Okay? What you've got on the road? Mud or garbage. So nobody sells that.
Yeah.
You understand? So suppose you've got only one Anwar Ali, that's why he's taking so much of money. If you've got 1,000 Anwar Alis, he'll be getting the money he deserves. And what will the other 900 Anwar Alis be doing? Going outside looking for opportunities abroad.
Of course, yeah.
Why are they not going abroad? Because of ridiculous money they're being offered. Why is that happening? Because there are no academies producing players. There are only 1, 2, 3 academies. So how the hell are you going to get so many players? Again, it comes down to the number of grassroots academies you have.
So let's talk on that, because we've talked about ISL, I-League and the constitution of the districts. But how can we now ensure that, yes, now we've got a club set up, the quality of coaches and the talent ID and the nurturing? Because you can put a system in place in terms of you need to check these to be an official club. But when can we now start on the coaching side and the... Because you told us last time that, oh, if you're a coach, you're a scout, and you thought that was ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
How can you just be given a scouting role when you've got no experience?
And that's what still is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the number of boys, so let me give you a simple example. We were playing Iceland, okay? And Startman is one of the best clubs in Iceland, and one of the best academies in Iceland. So their coach says, oh my God, how are these boys so good? So I said, what's the population of Iceland? He says 350,000. I said, these boys have been, just this age group has been selected from trials over the last 4 years from 150,000 or 127,000 boys. And he was shocked. So getting quality is not a problem as long as you scout each and every boy of that age. So we went and made an effort. And it cost us a huge shitload ton of money, because going to all parts of India and doing that, 127,000 boys is a huge number. Like, for example, when we go to Imphal in Manipur, we have trials. There are 3,000 boys turning up for trials. It takes us 7 days to complete a trial. 7 days just to complete one trial. Now, are there boys there? Yes, they are. Are they being scouted properly? No, they're not. Why do you think Minerva wins? Because our scouting program is great, and then on top of that, you add our training, which is superb. Obviously, we're going to win. But are we doing something which is impossible for others to do? No. Do we have more resources than others? No, we've the one fucking least resources.
So can I ask you a question? Why does no one copy? We've seen here, me and Jay have seen here now ourselves. We've come to 2 games, I can say it on camera. They've won 13-0 and 12-0 against Swedish opposition. And you can tell with quality training, good scouting, the Minerva is so much more athletically advanced than the teams they played. So clearly,
My brother, can you imagine?
why does no one?
I've got Indians coming and telling me here that it's been 35 years or 40 years I've been living here, and Indian teams come here and get smashed 12-0, 15-0, and now it's the opposite way. He says, I just want to cry. And why? Because I want to cry with being how proud I am. And they got these old guys coming and telling me that. And it still gives me goosebumps. So that's the kind of, like you just said, why is it not possible? And when I can see it's possible and I'm doing it, that's the whole point of this trip. The point of this trip is to show people that, hey, India, we're good enough. If you have the proper training, we can beat anyone. And it's not about Indians. It's about humans. You train a human properly, in the proper conditions you give him, there's nobody better than anyone. You work hard, you'll get there. Simple.
Yeah, well, it's been amazing to see, to be honest. I mean, with their performances, I was particularly surprised. And let's talk about, the individual thing, a bit more on the positive side with Minerva's story now. So,
before you come to the Minerva story.
Oh, no, go on. Is there more to cover?
No. On this, so Minerva story would have been a great story if I can hand over these boys to my country.
Of course, yeah.
So, if I can't, these boys, all my hard work will go down the drain within a year. Yeah. So, that's the whole point. The point of these trips is, we need the first Mohamed Salah. Like you said, now that we need something positive coming out from somewhere, positive news. Imagine if you have a boy who's playing for a top European club. Suppose Sarpreet Singh is Saprit Singh, but he's still Indian. And he's gone to Bayern Munich, which he has. But it's an Indian who's done that.
Yeah.
So Saprit Singh used to live 45 kilometers from my academy till he was 6. But Minerva didn't exist then. Okay? So imagine if one of those boys had come. So that means our blood, even if it goes to New Zealand, which is not known for football training, not a footballing nation, their rank of football would probably be somewhere, in 60s or 70s or 80s, and none of their footballers would get into the ISL team. As a foreigner. Okay? And if they can do it and get one of our boys, they can train one of our boys so well, and at 18 he can be signing for Bayern Munich, why can't we do it? So that point is what? That means it's our training end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the food.
It's training
it's
processes and structures.
Exactly. Yeah. End of the day it comes down to that. So what we're trying to prove to the world is the Indians have it. Indians have it if you give Indians the right opportunity. And that's what came out in the Helsinki papers. That, in fact, the PK35 coach said that now we know that India is a place where we should be looking for talent.
That's amazing.
Imagine,
which is exactly what you want to hear.
Exactly. So imagine if we have one of these boys coming and making it. That's what Al-Habsi, who played all his life in the Premier League as a goalkeeper from Oman. Oman. He was in the same club as Stuyback, as Gurpreet Singh Sandhu was. And he played in the Europa League, he went there. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu followed the same path. And one of my great friends, Baji, who's been a great goalkeeper in UK, is Joe Morrison's friend as well. So these guys, they're the ones who made it possible for him to go there. And the same with Habsi. But what happened with Gurpreet? He came back to India to play for BFC. And right now, where is he? As we speak, he's in Stuyback. He's training there. Even he's playing for them, but he's training there. Why? Why does Gurpreet Singh Sandhu need to go to Stuyback, which is not, no offense, La Masia, or is no offense, it's not Man City. But that means our training standards are so low. That means in the whole country, Gurpreet can't find even one person who can train him as well as that. So again, it comes down to training standards. We are pathetic. Why? Because we get our best coaches. We pay them so much of money, the ones from abroad. But who do they come and train? Who do they give their knowledge to? Indian Super League players. How much can you improve them? Indians or foreigners? This much. Because they're 25, 27, 28. Tactically, yes. You cannot improve them technically.
No.
Tactically, yes. If imagine you get those coaches and you put them with the under 7s and the under 11s. That's what talent is. Who's doing that? Qatar is doing that. They've got pro licenses running their junior academies. That's where you invest the money. Who do you have at the top? You have managers. You don't need coaches. You need managers, managers at the top. You need coaches at the bottom. And who do we have at the bottom? Like scouts are coaches who are the lowest licensed coaches. So, in the accreditation process, you get points according to the number of scouts you have. And the minimum qualification for a scout is being a D license. And so I would say, still fine. In the license course, do they teach you something about scouting? No. Is there even one chapter on it? No. And you make him a scout. So the whole thing is, you understand, the whole thing dies right there. It dies right, the whole team. So because, understand, you're sending someone to go and scout people, he goes and sits there, and you got 1,000 Messis playing in him, and because he's an idiot, not because he's an idiot, is because he's never been taught that, he goes and selects the wrong people, and then we say, oh my God, Indians can't play football.
It's over before it started.
So the right people are never picked up. So what do? We make sure that we have, so they are biased. If I would say I'm not biased, I would be lying. It's natural to be biased, so I'll be biased for goalkeepers. Why? Because I'm a goalkeeper. Okay? Or I'll be biased for somebody who plays as a coach attacking football and not parking the bus. Okay? So there are biases which you have in your mind. You need to have a system which has got no biases at all, especially in a country like India, where you've got caste, color, creed, religions, different states, cultures, and the different language every 50 kilometers. So in my team in 21 boys right now, I've got 9 different languages.